report dated 6 September 2013 by the Cape Times Political Bureau that 80% of the land of South Africa is still in private hands. Honourable Chair, Parliament has the responsibility to debate land audits and assess if the land reform policy is addressing the imbalances of the past and why government is unable to account for all the land. Land reform will impact on various land development projects, namely land ownership, growing the economy, food security, and housing development. I so move.
Honourable Groenewald.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Chairperson. On behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I hereby wish to give notice that at the next sitting of Council, it notes that Rustenburg in the Northwest Province is one of the fast-growing cities in Africa. With the development taking place in the platinum sector on the mines, water is a problem. The huge volumes of water being used in the mines started to create a massive water crisis in the communities in and around Rustenburg. Water provided by government to people of South Africa is one of the basic rights the citizens of South Africa have. The DA asked the Minister of Water and Environment Affairs, Honourable Edna Molewa, to intervene on a serious note into the water crisis in Rustenburg, to see that an extra water pipeline, independent from the mines and only for the infrastructure of Rustenburg, for the citizens only be installed from Rand Water. I so move.
Honourable van Lingen.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. On behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I hereby wish to give notice that at the next sitting of Council, it notes that the Department of Trade and Industry should change the definition of new entrants, the ownership element of broad-based black economic empowerment scorecard that would serve to make BBBEE more effective to broaden the participation in the economy. President Jacob Zuma stated at the BBBEE summit in Gauteng last week that economic transformation is not just about big business deals for a few individuals in society. It is the DTI is using BBBEE codes as a tool to incentivize the enrichment of the elite and is excluding the previously economically disadvantaged in its decision to increase the threshold of the value of equity previously held to qualify as a new entrant from 20 million to 50 million rand. The DA calls on President Zuma to apply his mind to an inclusive BBBEE framework, economic framework, where definitions and scorecards will benefit the economically disadvantaged, such as new entrants into an equal opportunity economy to better their lives and realize their dreams, and not to destroy the SMME sector of the economy that is the main sector or the main creator for jobs and thereby the jobs of those who need it most.
Honourable van Lingen, can you just wait? Abrams.
Chairperson, on a point of order, the bill is before the committees, the BBBEE bill, before the committee, so I think the member is out of order to put a motion.
Chairperson, may I say something? This is about the scorecard and not the bill.
The scorecard in reference to the bill. Yes. Honourable van Lingen, let's not argue around that. Thank you. Thank you. Honourable Khasmani. Just hold on, Honourable Khasmani.
Okay.
Honourable Chairperson, I just want to find out what will be the situation of the bill, because I'm expecting from you that you're saying that that motion is not on the order paper now, or it will be on the order paper or what else. Thank you.
Honorable members, we're not debating on what Honorable van Lingen has said. We anticipate the discussion of the matter appearing on the order paper. Okay? So that's fine, we'll accept what she has said.
Thank you very much.
It's accepted. Honorable Khasmeni.
Thanks, Honorable Deputy Chairperson. I hereby give notice that in the next meeting of the Council, I shall move that the Council notes the pronouncements made by the Minister of Health, Honorable Aaron Motsoaledi, regarding persisting legacy of apartheid in the provision of health care in South Africa and government's attempts to expand access to health care through the provision of a universal health coverage, which has been commonly known as the National Health Insurance. Further notes that barriers to quality healthcare in South Africa include poverty, unemployment, vast distances, and high travel costs to healthcare facilities, especially in rural areas and farms, high out-of-pocket payments for care, long queues, and disempowered patients whose lives have been ravaged by long years of apartheid and historic neglect by the apartheid government, and takes this opportunity to commend the resilient and tireless efforts of the ANC government to rectify this unjust system in line with the people's right to access affordable and good quality health care, irrespective of socioeconomic status. I so move.
Before we proceed, may we welcome the special delegate from Gauteng, Deputy Chair of Chairs, Mr. Mbata. You're welcome. Honorable Gunda, can you just sit and stop fighting? It's very early in the day. Honorable Sinclair.
Honorable Chairperson, with due respect, I just want to find out, is it parliamentary that the one honorable member tell the other one he's a baby?
Honorable Sinclair, maybe the reference was made to you. Does a member wish to move a motion without notice? Honorable members, I might not be able to allow all of you to do it. But let's see how far I'll go. So Honorable Ranto.
Thank you, Deputy Chairperson. I hereby move that the Council notes and congratulates the Progressive Youth Alliance in general and the South African Students' Congress in particular on resounding and overwhelming victories recorded in the recent Student Representative Council election held around the country. Further notes that in many campuses, SASCO and the ANC Youth League contested and defeated those who posture as having the monopoly of the youth vote, particularly the middle-class youth vote. Acknowledges that the results of these elections have unequivocally debunked the myth spread by many that young people do not have faith in the mass democratic movement and the African National Congress. Takes this opportunity to congratulate all the elected student leaders and future leaders of the ANC. I so move.
Is there an objection?
See, we need the NMU, it does.
In light of the objection, the motion may not be proceeded with. Motion without notice will now become notice of a motion. Aye, Lord. Honorable Faku.
No, I hereby move without notice that the Council knows that, according to police reports, criminals in the Eastern Cape and elsewhere are using remote control devices to override the electronic security systems of motor vehicles to gain access to the vehicles, to remove and steal property and valuables left inside the vehicles. Note that criminals are also using similar methods to gain access to houses and properties with electronic gates and garage doors in order to remove and steal valuables. Calls on the public and especially on motorists and homeowners to be on the alert and also to check their vehicle doors as well as electronic gates and garage doors by hand after locking them with remote controls. Also takes this opportunity to call on the police and all law enforcement authorities and agencies to put out a special alert on this criminal activity and to take all steps necessary to ensure that it is rooted out. I so move.
Is there any objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Kegane.
I hereby move without notice that the Council knows that President Zuma has officially handed over the newly built Etheridge Junior Secondary School in Bizana in the Eastern Cape to the provincial government last week. Notes and echoes the view of the President that the building of the school was an important step towards seeing the children of this area receiving education in a conducive environment, and also his call on teachers and learners to ensure that this investment in education yields returns not only through outstanding academic results in all grades, but also through good discipline on the school ground and beyond. Further notes that Anglo-American Platinum has contributed an amount of approximately 45 million towards the construction of the school, including facilities such as a computer and a science laboratory, and takes this opportunity to commend Anglo-American on its commitment as well as its role in the construction of this school, and calls all mining companies who have a high number of employees from the Eastern Cape to invest in similar projects. I so move.
Is there any objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Mbata.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. I, who I live in Tenembata, hereby moves without notice note that the utter dismay erection of billboards along the Johannesburg highways next to e-toll countries with the message e-tolls proudly brought to you by the ANC close code further notes that after denying the erection of the billboards, the DA has made a turnaround confession that it commissioned the billboards, acknowledges the anonymous erection of the billboards in nothing but cravingly and crudely coward acts on its desperate attempt to mislead the people of South Africa to reject the e-tolls, acknowledges the electronic tolling collection and open road tolling is used by many countries and cities around the world and has proven highly effective in eliminating delays and traffic congestion on toll roads and toll gates, including Singapore, Santiago, Chile, United Arab Emirates, Toronto, Norway, Melbourne, and Tel Aviv, United States, takes this opportunity to condemn the harshest possible terms this blatant attempt to manipulate and mislead the people of South Africa to oppose e-tolls of road users, take this opportunity to appeal to the Minister of Transport to take into serious consideration some of the concerns made by South Africans on the user fee and ensure that they do not impose a further financial burden on the people. Thank you.
Is there any objection to the motion?
Yes.
In light of the objection, the motion may not be proceeded with. The motion without notice will now become a notice of a motion. Honorable Matile.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. I hereby move without notice that the Council notes with concern.
Honorable Matile, just take your seat.
Chairperson, point of order.
Yes, sir. Honorable De Villiers.
Can I carry on?
Yes.
Thank you very much. From my side, and also from Honorable Darrell Worth's side, we object to the motion. And Honorable Mr. Mandi said, you are coward. And he's actually saying, I was asking him, just listen, I was asking him, who's the coward? He said, those who object to the motion. So he's actually referring to me and also to Darrell Worth. And I put this motion that you must ask that honorable member to subtract that allegation to us. Thank you.
Did you say you're going to ask him a question? Or should I?
Chairperson?
The latter part of your statement?
I was saying and asking you, as the presiding officer, to ask Honorable Mr. Mandi to actually subtract that, saying that we are cowards. We are honorable members in this House. So is he and every other body, everyone here in this House. Also, you are an honorable member. We are not cowards here.
Honorable De Villiers, before I proceed, I don't think I deserve you raising your voice because I'm not party to that.
No, I'm not raising.
No, you did. It doesn't matter. I've made my mark. Honorable Nzimande, what's your explanation around that accusation?
Honorable Chair, the motion has got the word coward. I responded to the word coward in the motion, and if he likes me to be positive, they are very brave to object. I thank you, Chair.
Honorable Nzimande and Honorable De Villiers, may I ask for peace? Honorable De Villiers and Honorable Nzimande, may I ask for peace in this chamber? Thank you.
Chairperson, I'm not fighting with anybody here in this house. I just use my opportunity and my rights in this house. And I'm asking you, if you don't want to give the apology or saying, I'm subtracting that, saying that you are a coward, then it's fine. Then I'm always brave.
Honorable De Villiers,
I'm brave here
can I
inside
punctuate? Can I
and
punctuate?
outside,
Can I-
and in the evening.
Okay.
I'm walking the streets alone, and nobody will attack me. Thank you.
Order, order. May we try by all means not to use unpalatable names. Let's refer to each other as honorable members. And let's make peace. Honorable De Villiers. Nobody questioned your bravery, whether you walk the dark corners of Cape Town or not. Thank you. Honorable Kamed, Matile, sorry, you're on the floor.
Yeah. I hereby move without notice that the council notes with concern and utter discontent that yet another police officer was arrested on allegations of having committed various crimes when a detective of Limpopo was arrested last week with 5 others and appeared in the Lephalale Magistrates Court on charges of theft of liquor worth 15,000 rands, burglary, illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. Notes that this police officer, who should protect and serve and uphold the law, is in fact an apparent dangerous crook, burglar and thief, and poses a dangerous threat to business people and the communities who he is supposed to protect against such crimes. Takes this opportunity to call on the Minister of Police and the Commissioner of Police, as well as the prosecuting authority, to ensure that this police officer meets the full might of the law, and further calls on the Minister and his department, as well as the Commissioner and his management team, to develop and implement measures to detect and root out all criminal elements in the police services. I so move, Chair.
Is there any objection to the motion? Is agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable De Villiers, sit straight. Sit straight. There's one. You're busy chatting there. Honorable Kamede.
Ngiyabonga sihlalo.
Shush.
Ngiyafuna nje ukuba brave ukuthi ngifunde le motion ya. Ngiyaphakamisa ngale kukwazisa ukuthi lendlu income futhi ibongele umhlonishwa uSenzo Edward Mchunu ngokukhetha kwakhe ukuba undunankulu waKwaZulu Natal. And nalokuthi lendlu imfisele ukuhle kulesi sikhathi asazosebenza sonke sale inyanga ezisele naleminyaka ezayo futhi lendlu ibongele umhlonishwa unkosazana uPheki Nkonyini ngokuqoka kwakhe ukuba ungqongqoshe wezemfundo kwaZulu Natal. Ngiyaphakamisa ngokukhulu ukuhlakanipha ukuba brave.
Is there an objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of section 65.
For whatever reasons we want.
I object, Madam Chair.
You are objecting?
Yep.
In light of the objection, motion may not be proceeded with. Motion without notice will now become notice of a motion. Honorable Nyambi.
Thanks, Chair. I hereby move without notice that the Council note with shock and concern that a group of 108 learners and 10 teachers from Hennos Park Primary School in Pretoria were held at gunpoint and robbed at a lodge in Hazyview in Mpumalanga last week. Notes that the learners had been on a school tour where 3 men armed with a shotgun and 2 pistols entered the rooms shortly after midnight last week, and while holding them at gunpoint, took their cell phones, money, iPads, laptops, jewelry, and other valuables. Condemn this barbaric criminal act of robbery of innocent and defenseless school children in the strongest possible terms, and take this opportunity to call on the police and all relevant authorities to ensure that these criminals meet the full might of the law. I so move.
Is there any objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Mohoro.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. I hereby move without notice that the Council notes with shock that 17-year-old grade 8 learner of New Eiselburn High School in Lower Crossroad in Cape Town, Anel Mhaudi, was stabbed to death at the school last week by fellow learners. Note with concern that killing and assault of learners of school seems to be on the rise, and several other learners were stabbed, shot, or assaulted at school earlier this year. Condemn this senseless and tragic loss of life of a promising young learner who convey its heartfelt condolences to the loved one and family friends of this learner. Calls on the Western Cape Education Department and to all other education department and school governing bodies to assess security measures at schools under their respective jurisdiction and to leave no stones unturned to improve security measures at schools. I so move.
Is there an objection to the motion? No. Motion is agreed to in terms of section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Dibia.
Honourable Chairperson, I hereby move that the Council notes the good health and the long life wished by President Zuma to Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu on his birthday on Monday, 7 October 2013. Further notes that Archbishop Desmond Tutu turned 82 yesterday, and the President, on behalf of government and the people of South Africa, wished him a joyous occasion, good health and a long life, so that he can continue contributing to nation building and social cohesion, which he continues to do even in retirement, and setting an example to other people in South Africa. Takes this opportunity to also wish the Nobel Prize Peace winner, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, good health and many more years to come. I so move, Honourable Chairperson.
Is there an objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Manzini.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chair. On behalf of the Democratic Alliance, I move a motion without notice that the Council notes that retired Paralympic swimmer Natal Dutour joined singer Adele and football star David Beckham as a recipient of an honorary member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, that's the MBE. Also notes that Dutour, who has won 13 gold medals and 2 silver medals in competitions, was presented with the award by the Earl of Wessex, Prince Edward, for a contribution to the Paralympic sport on Saturday. Further notes that she is completely humbled and that the award does not change her responsibility to society, but she just has to continue to be the best that she can be. I so move, and thank you once more.
Is there any objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Chani.
Thank you, Chair. I hereby move without notice that the Council knows with utter shock and dismay that yet another rape took place when a 40-year-old man of Eastern Cape has been arrested last week for allegedly having raped his 8-year-old niece. Knows that the man allegedly lured his niece and her friends to his house, pretending that he wanted to give them meat, whereafter he chased the other children out and raped his niece. Condemns this barbaric deed and takes this opportunity to call on the police and all relevant authorities to ensure that the perpetrator is brought to book, and also calls on the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development once again to review the penalty for rapists to ensure that they receive much harsher sentences, and thereby sending out a strong message that such brutal and barbaric deeds against women and children can and will no longer be tolerated. I so move.
Is there any objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Temba.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. I hereby move without notice that the Council knows the news of an early loan payment by the South African Broadcasting Corporation, SABC, to Nedbank of its 1 billion government-guaranteed loan. Further notes that the SABC settled the loan at the end of September instead of the due date of November 28, 2014, paying 219 million in interest rather than more than 264 million, which means saving more than 45 million in interest through the early payment, and takes this opportunity to applaud the SABC staff and its leadership for hard work and keep steering the broadcast to a right direction. I so move.
Is there any objection to the motion? Motion is agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Honorable Faku, it's not yet time for a dance. There won't be any further motions without notice. Secretary will read the first order of the day.
Consideration of Commission on Gender Equality Amendment Bill and of report of Select Committee on Women, Children and People with Disabilities thereon.
I'll now call upon Honorable Mohoro.
Thank you, Chair.
A veteran use the podium.
Thank you, Chair. On the 19th October 2010, the Acting Speaker of Parliament established the Ad Hoc Committee on the Commission for Gender Equality Forensic Investigations. The committee mandate was to consider and report to the National Assembly on specific issues that were highlighted in the Auditor General's Public Protector's report on the CGE. The report from the Ad Hoc Committee was adopted in June 2011, and it recommends recommended that the Commission on Agenda Equality Act 39 of 1996 be revised to bring it in line with the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa 1996. The Commission on Gender Equality Bill B36 of 2012, thereafter the bill was introduced in 2012, and it was referred to the Portfolio Committee on Women, Children and People with Disability on the 30th of October 2012. Public comment on the bill was invited from 3 to 22nd March 2013, and 2 submissions were received on the bill from the public. Public hearing.
Mokgoro, there seems to be a point of order. Just hold on.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, does the decorum of the House allow the honorable member to address us as this honorable House dressed in the manner in which he is?
Where's your coat, Baba? Where's your coat?
A coat? I didn't bring a coat, but I'm formal. I didn't bring a coat, but I'm formal.
Where's your bike?
My bike is pretty haze. Lend me your bike either.
Honorable Chane, can you save us? Can you continue?
Thank you, Chair. Public hearing were held on the 17th April 2013. On 24th April 2013, the Portfolio Committee deliberated and on the submission. The Portfolio Committee produced its report on the bill on the 15th of May 2013, and this report was tabled on the in the National Assembly on the 4th of June. The bill was then referred to
Honorable
the Select
Mokgoro,
Committee on...
Can you just hold on?
Sorry, Chairperson. I'm just concerned about the Chairperson to take his off what is his jacket. He's no longer, he better go out.
Honorable members, any of you who is not going to now be obedient, I'll chuck them out.
Yeah.
Continue, Mokgoro. Continue. Can you see where you are reading? Continue, Baba.
All right. The bill was then referred to the Select Committee on Women, Children and People with Disability on the 4th of June 2013. The Select Committee met on the 19th June 2013, where the bill was debated. The committee noted that on the issue of public participation, the Portfolio Committee found that a Section 59(1)(a) of the Constitution notes that the National Assembly must facilitate public involvement in the legislative and other processes of the Assembly and its committees, and that Section 1936 of the Constitution further states that the involvement of civil society in the recommendation process may be provided for as envisioned in the Section 59(1)(a). There was no need to retain the clause specifying that interested parties could nominate commissioners. The Select Committee thus adopted the bill and made a further recommendation that the National Assembly considers providing an opportunity for the National Council of Provinces as well as members of the public to become involved in the nomination process of commissioners as is provided for in the Constitution. Thank you, Chair.
That concludes the debate. I shall now put the question. The question is that the bill be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 63, I shall first allow political parties to make their declaration of vote if they so wish, and I hope everybody has logged in. We shall now proceed with the voting. On the question, members will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain. Anybody with problems? Okay. The voting is closed. Could the table staff submit the results? It's fine, it's not. Kutheni ke ngoku Honorable Mlenzana uthini? Usecaweni tata? Are you praying? 33 members have voted in favor. I therefore declare the bill agreed to in terms of Section 75 of the Constitution. Secretary will read the second order of the day.
Consideration of National Environmental Management Laws Second Amendment Bill and of report of Select Committee on Land and Environmental Affairs thereon.
Honorable Kugat.
Deputy Chairperson of the NSOP, honorable members, this afternoon I'm given the opportunity to share with you some of the deliberations that the Select Committee on Land and Environmental Affairs had on the National Environmental Management Laws Second Amendment Bill, B2013, that was introduced by the Minister of Water and Environmental Affairs to Parliament. The National Environmental Management Act 1998, Act number 107 of 1998, is the environmental framework legislation which provides the environmental management. Other specific environmental management acts were promulgated to deal with specific mediums of the environment, namely the National Environmental Management Protected Areas Act 2003, Act number 57 of 2003. The National Environmental Management Biodiversity Act 2004, Act number 10 of 2004. The National Environmental Management Air Quality Act 2004, Act number 39 of 2004. The National Environmental Management Integrated Coastal Management Act 2008, Act number 24 of 2008. And the National Environmental Management Waste Act 2008, Act number 59 of 2008. The purpose of the bill is to amend certain provisions under the National Environmental Management Act 1998, Act number 107 of 1998. The bill proposes amendments to certain provisions under NEMA. Most of the amendments were identified through implementation of the Act, and some originated from the Department of Cooperative Governance process of identifying legislation that hampers service delivery. Chair, the process that Select Committee on Land and Environmental Affairs followed for processing the Section 76 legislation includes referring the bill to the provinces for public hearings. And the negotiating mandates with several amendments were received from the provinces. On accepting some of the amendments proposed by the provinces, the committee received the final mandates and concluded the deliberation on the bill. One concern raised by the committee is poor public participation with the provincial competent authorities that will implement the bill, and the Department of Environmental Affairs is encouraged to hold more provincial capacity building and expert consultation workshops with the provinces to address the challenges and constraints facing these provincial authorities. The Select Committee on Land and Environmental Affairs, having considered the subject of the National Environmental Management Law's Second Amendment Bill B13-2013, National Assembly, Section 76, referred to it, reports that it has agreed to an amended Bill B13B 2013. I thank you, ma'am.
That concludes the debate. I shall now put the question that the bill be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow provinces the opportunity to make their declaration of vote, if they so wish. We shall now proceed to the voting on the question. I'll do this in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain. And before I proceed, I posed a question before the voting started with the last time, and I asked if anybody had a problem, and nobody came forward. But now it's been brought to my attention that Honorable Faku had a problem. Are you now able to vote? You are? Okay.
Yes, Deputy Chair.
Okay. Honorable Ranto, I heard you muttering.
Now, because I'll be voting.
You'll be voting
for my province.
Well, it's your province. It's fine. Eastern Cape,
Voted, Chair.
Free State, Gauteng,
Voted.
KwaZulu Natal, KwaZulu Natal,
In favor, Chair.
Limpopo,
In favor, Chair.
Mpumalanga,
In favor.
Northern Cape,
Voted.
Northwest,
Voted.
Western Cape.
Voted, Chair.
All 9 provinces have voted in favor. Therefore, I therefore declare the bill agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Secretary will read the third order of the day. Honorable De Beer.
Consideration of report of Select Committee on Finance Convention on Mutual Administrative Assistance in Tax Matters as amended by the 2011 Protocol.
Honorable Chairperson, I will deal with all the agreements, protocols, and conventions in one. Honorable Chairperson, the development of the international movement of persons, capital, goods, and services, which is highly beneficial in itself, has increased the possibilities of tax avoidance and evasion, which requires increased cooperation amongst tax authorities. The coordinated effort between states is necessary in order to foster all forms of administrative assistance in matters concerning taxes of any kind, whilst at the same time ensuring the adequate protection of the rights of taxpayers. The fundamental principles that guide this process is that every person has rights and obligations determined in accordance with a proper legal procedure that should be recognized as applying to tax matters in all states. The agreement provides for the exchange of information that is foreseeable and relevant to the enforcement of the domestic laws of the parties concerning to taxes and tax matters covered by this agreement. It also includes information that is foreseeable, relevant to determination, assessment, and enforcement or collection of tax with respect to persons subject to such taxes or to investigations of tax matters or the prosecution of criminal tax matters in relation to such persons. The requested party shall ensure that effective information is not unduly prevented or delayed. The parties to this agreement shall provide administrative assistance to each other in tax matters. Such assistance may include exchange of information, recovery, and service documents. This convention applies to taxes or income for profits, capital gains, and net wealth. Article 2 provides a scope for the application of this convention, and Chapter 3 provides scope on the exchange of information. Section 2 of Chapter 3 provides scope for assistance in the recovery of tax claims and steps to be taken, documents to accompany the request, and time limits and other issues of importance in recovering tax claims. The possibility of assistance provided by this convention do not limit those contained in the existing or future international agreements or other arrangements between the parties concerned or other instruments which relate to the cooperation in tax matters. Then we go to the protocol between the government of...
The one, and then I will announce the others. I know very well you'll still be the same person. That concludes the debate. I shall now put the questions that the report be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow provinces the opportunity to make their declaration of vote if they so wish. We shall now proceed to the voting on the question. I shall do this in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain buttons. Eastern Cape,
In favor, Chair.
Free State, Gauteng, KZN,
We voted in favor, Chair.
Limpopo,
Vote in favor.
Mpumalanga,
In favor.
Northern Cape,
Voted.
Northwest,
Voted, Chair.
Western Cape.
Voted, Chairperson.
All 9 provinces have voted in favor. I therefore declare the report agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. The Secretary will read the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th orders of the day. Honorable De Beer.
Consideration of reports of Select Committee on Finance, protocol amending the convention between the Government of Republic of South Africa and the Government of Republic of Botswana for avoidance of double taxation and the Prevention of Fiscal Evasion with respect to taxes on income with protocol. Order 5, Convention between the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Chile for the avoidance of double taxation and the prevention of fiscal evasion with respect to taxes on income and on capital. Order 6, Agreement between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Costa Rica for the exchange of information relating to tax matters. Order 7, Protocol amending the agreement between the Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Government of the Republic of Malta for the avoidance of double taxation and the prevention of fiscal evasion with respect to taxes on income.
Honorable Dipia.
Chairperson, as I indicated when I started, I'll just carry on because there are lots of overlapping in terms of the agreements. The purpose dealing with the government of South Africa and the government of the Republic of Botswana. The purpose of this protocol is to provide amendments and accommodate changes which the government of the RSA and Botswana to the Double Taxation Convention entered between these two countries for the avoidance of double taxation and the prevention of the fiscal evasion with respect to taxes on income. This agreement allows effective exchange of information between tax authorities. It also promotes international cooperation for a better application of a jurisdiction's domestic tax laws while respecting fundamental rights of taxpayers. It provides updates in various articles, specifically Article 25, focusing on the exchange of information. It states that member states will exchange any information which may be relevant for the application of domestic laws concerning any tax imposed on behalf of the contracting states. The exchange of information is not restricted. Such as South Africa obtains tax information relating to a resident of the third state who is liable for tax in Botswana, it may make that information available to the Republic of Botswana. Then on the convention with Chile, the convention states that tax on business profits should be taxed where the business property is situated. It further states that a resident has a business establishment on the other country in the form of a permanent establishment. It should be taxed in that country. For example, if a factory expands to another country, profits from that branch should be taxed where it is situated. Deliberations are also made on taxations on international transport, where it is stated that ships, airplanes from South Africa operating in Chile are taxable in South Africa and vice versa. However, the transport income is earned through a joint venture. Profits from that venture should be taxed according to business rules. Deliberations are also made on tax on dividends, where the country paying the dividend to a non-resident has a limited withholding tax to that non-resident. The country receiving shareholder has an unlimited taxing right. Considerations of taxation of royalties is also discussed, where it is stipulated income and obtained from royalties which is taxed by the state of the resident or income receiver. The procedure on taxing royalties is set by the country's competent authorities. Countries should make efforts to collect the tax when approached, but the other country, even if the person owing has the right to prevent the collection. Then I turn to the agreement between the RSA and Costa Rica. South Africa and Costa Rica will have an agreement to exchange tax information solely for the determination, assessment, enforcement, or collection of tax or any other information concerning tax investigations. This agreement stresses the importance of confidentiality of information exchange between these countries and also the efficient process when exchange of information takes place. Each country should use their own methods to gather the information and should provide all information within their jurisdictions. Even if the country do not have domestic interests on their side, they should collect information. This is vital in order to effectively exchange information anytime when needed by the other country. Information received should be treated with high confidentiality for the interest of taxpayers and all parties involved. Direct cost for obtaining information will be borne by the country requesting the information, and any direct cost by the country supplying the information. And lastly, the protocol between the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Malta. In this protocol, most articles define terms and other articles dealing with taxation on different income types. However, paragraph 2 of Article 10 of the agreement should be noticed as it discusses taxation on dividends and is a new approach. This article states the limitation of withholding tax rates in the source state. Both countries will notify each other in writing when the domestic requirements are completed for the enforcement of this agreement. This agreement will come into effect when the taxation on shareholder level of dividends become effective in South Africa. Therefore, the RSA will notify Malta when it introduces this new system of taxation of dividends. Considering the development of the international movements of capital, goods and services among countries, tax authorities are bound to cooperate to ensure tax law enforcement, to strengthen and protect their revenue base. The Select Committee on Finance, having considered the request for the rectification or approval by Parliament of these agreements, protocols, etc., between the Republic of South Africa and the governments of the Republic of Botswana, Chile, Costa Rica, and Malta with respect to taxes and tax matters, recommends that the House, in terms of Section 2312 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, should approve these conventions. I shall move, Honourable Chairperson. Thank you.
That concludes the debate. I shall now put the question in respect of the fourth order. The question is that the report be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow provinces the opportunity to make their declaration of vote if they so wish. We shall now proceed to the voting on the question. I'll do this in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain. Eastern Cape, Free State, Gauteng, KZN, Limpopo,
In favor.
Mpumalanga,
In favor.
Northern Cape,
Voted.
Northwest,
Voted, ma'am.
Western Cape,
Voted, Chairperson.
all 9 provinces have voted in favor. I therefore declare the report agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. I shall now put the question in respect of the fifth order. The question is that the report be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow the provinces the opportunity to make their declaration if they so wish. We shall now proceed with the voting. We shall do this in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain. Eastern Cape, Gauteng, Gauteng, Free State, KZN, Limpopo,
Agreed.
Mpumalanga,
On stem sum.
Northern Cape,
Voted, Chair.
Northwest, Western Cape.
Stem is uitgebring.
9 provinces have voted in favor. I therefore declare the report agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. I shall now put the question in respect of the sixth order. Question is that the report be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow provinces the opportunity to make their declaration, if they so wish. We shall now proceed to the voting on the question. I'll do this in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain. Eastern Cape, Free State, Gauteng, KZN, Limpopo,
Agreed.
Mpumalanga,
Agreed.
Northern Cape,
Voted, Chair.
Northwest,
Voted, Chair.
Western Cape.
It's gestem.
9 provinces have voted in favor. I therefore declare the report agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. I shall now put the question in respect of the 7th order, that the report be agreed to. Accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow provinces the opportunity to make that declaration of vote if they so wish. Shall now proceed with the voting on the question. I'll do it in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favor, against, or abstain. Eastern Cape,
Voted.
Free State, Gauteng,
Voted.
KZN, Limpopo,
Agreed.
Mpumalanga,
Siyavuma.
Northern Cape,
Voted, Chair.
Northwest, Tshwane,
Voted, Chair. Thank you.
Western Cape,
Stem is gestuur, Deputy Chair. Stem is gestuur.
thank you. 9 provinces have voted in favor. I therefore declare the report agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. The Secretary will read the 8th order of the day.
Consideration of Provincial Week Report from 16 to 19 of April 2013, moving with utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities.
I'll now call upon Deputy Minister, Honorable Nell.
Chairperson, good afternoon. And honourable members, good afternoon. I hope that my jacket meets the high standards of the council. I would like just to start by thanking the House for holding this debate and for inviting us to be part of it, and also to convey the best wishes, but also the apologies of the Minister of COGTA, Minister Tsenodi, who is elsewhere in the country dealing with some urgent and delicate matters. At the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, we are deeply involved in socio-economic development. According to the Nobel Prize-winning economist Amartya Sen, socio-economic development refers to a monitored, manipulated, or encouraged process that brings about changes in locations where people live, work, and relates both to social and economic factors. Sen declares, and I quote, "In judging economic development, it's not adequate to look only at the growth of GDP or some other indicators of overall economic expansion. We have to look also at the impact of democracy and political freedoms on the lives and capabilities of the citizens," close quote. So now we have to ask ourselves, is this what we're doing? And in the context of the Provincial Week decisions taken during this year's annual meeting of the National Council of Provinces in April, are we moving with the utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities, to advance the cause which Sen has articulated so succinctly. Sen's view is now widely accepted. Development must be judged by its impact on people, judged not only by changes in their income, but more generally in terms of their choices, capabilities, and freedoms. We should be concerned about the distribution of these improvements and not be fooled or sidetracked by a game of averages. Sen stresses the importance of education and investment in a sound social infrastructure to attain and sustain growth. As he points out, no nation has grown from poverty to prosperity without taking care of the basic needs of its people. More than that, successful development also carries a connotation of lasting change. More than improvements in the well-being of citizens, it also revolves around the capacity of the economic, political, and social system to provide for that well-being on a sustainable long-term basis. Let us examine what we are doing in this context. COGTA should be a command point for the troops involved in the front line of service delivery, the officials from district and local municipalities. These are the people responsible for creating a better life for all, a goal that we set ourselves with the intention to pull our people out of poverty and its effects such as indignity and humiliation. We continue to transform the institutions of the state and local government in particular to ensure the state is capable of delivering on its constitutional mandate and work together with the people in delivering services and other public goods. The 1996 Constitution gave local government a new development mandate. This mandate was more clearly defined in the White Paper on Local Government published in March 1998. Developmental local government, as outlined in the White Paper, must be local government that works with citizens and groups in the community to find sustainable ways to meet their needs and improve the quality of their lives. In terms of the White Paper, the notion of developmental local government is comprised of the following four basic characteristics. Firstly, maximizing economic growth and social development. Local government is instructed to exercise its powers and functions in a way that has a maximum impact on economic growth and the social development of communities. Secondly, integrating and coordinating. Local government integrates and coordinates developmental activities of other state and non-state agents within a municipal area. Thirdly, democratic development. Public participation. Local government becomes the vehicle through which citizens work to achieve their vision of the kind of place in which they wish to live. And fourth but not last, leading and learning. Municipalities must build social capital, stimulating and the finding of local solutions for increased sustainability and stimulate local political leadership. Over the last 18 years, since the inception of democracy, our government has reached out to the people through its municipalities and other agents of state, making spectacular progress in extending service delivery to those most in need. The census of 2011 bears eloquent witness to this. Today, more than 91% of our people have access to piped water, 57% have access to a flush toilet, 85% have access to electricity, and 62% have access to household refuse removal. This is not a perfect score, but it's a long, long way from where we came from. COGTA and its provincial and municipal partners have a whole lot of work to do, and ongoing assessments have shown that the system of cooperative governance needs strengthening if we hope to succeed in the challenging task that lies ahead. For an effective system of cooperative governance, each sphere must effectively perform its roles and responsibilities. That is the national sphere, COGTA, the provincial sphere in the form of each of the 9 provincial governments, the municipal sphere involving the work in cities and towns, down to the ward sphere where we find those most in need. Each sphere has a major role to play and no one is more important than the other. COGTA has a number of roles and responsibilities in this scenario, including the development and implementation of policy and legislation for provincial and local government, monitoring compliance with legislation and policies, providing support to provinces. Chairperson, I'm becoming a bit concerned. It's a long time ago that I did first aid. I wish my colleague a speedy
Honorable
recovery.
De Villiers. Honorable De Villiers, can you ask for a glass of water?
COGTA has a number of roles and responsibilities in this scenario, including the development and implementation of policy and legislation for national and local government, monitoring compliance with legislation and policies, providing support to provinces and municipalities, monitoring the performance of local government, and coordinating and facilitating service delivery. Nonetheless, it's a role subject to continuous review, the most recent recommendations being to firstly place greater emphasis on the importance of the supervisory roles and responsibilities of both national and provincial government. For example, in the monitoring, evaluation, and support of local government, including adequate research and analysis capacity and policy leadership that responds to evidence from the field. Secondly, strengthening the capacity of COGTA in functions such as oversight, that is, monitoring and evaluation of the performance of local and provincial government, the governance of the powers and functions of each sphere, implementation of the planning cycle, the effective administration of important legislation which aims to provide for more effective service delivery. Thirdly, finding ways to strengthen local government so that it might more effectively perform its oversight roles, given that the provincial local government departments have the smallest staff, weak capacity, and lowest budgets of all provincial departments. Fourthly, finding ways in which the offices of the premiers can take a more active role in intergovernmental coordination of the government's program of action and enable their more effective participation in development planning. And fifthly, clarifying the roles and responsibilities of district and local municipalities so that waste and duplication is reduced or eliminated, thereby reducing intergovernmental tensions. Despite the remarkable progress, there's clear evidence that local government remains a troubled sphere of governance. Many municipalities are incapable of meeting the most basic service delivery needs of their poorest and most disadvantaged communities. One of the effects of this is a growing incidence of service delivery protest. These challenges have been highlighted by the 2009 study on the state of local government and the 2010 study commissioned on the state of local government human resources development. These studies revealed capacity constraints and weaknesses in governance and institutional performance, inhibiting improvement in performance and service delivery. The National Planning Commission's 2011 diagnostic report showed significant disparities in capacity, skills, and performance in the state. Yet building a capable and effective state is a key priority if we really want to combat the high levels of joblessness, poverty, and inequality in the country. Effective state spending on health, education, transport, housing, water, energy, and sanitation can lift literally millions of people out of poverty and reduce the socioeconomic inequalities at the same time. So reason tells us that the capability and effectiveness remains the critical challenge to the efforts of the state. A crucial element of this is inadequate ability to project manage the grants allocated by the fiscal system, and which are based on principles of redistribution. The poor management of these funds by some municipalities leads to service delivery breakdowns and community alienation. To address poor spending on, for example, the municipal infrastructure grant by some municipalities, the department, together with its provincial counterparts and sector departments, engage with municipalities to understand the root causes and provide timely advice to resolve problems. All government programs require high levels of intergovernmental coordination to succeed. Another word for this is cooperation, which is, of course, what cooperative governance is all about. Yet poor coordination has been repeatedly cited as one of the main reasons for the state's failure to more adequately meet the needs of communities. There is without doubt a pressing need for improved relations between the spheres of government, and critical to this is intergovernmental accountability or intersphere accountability. There's a solid foundation for effective cooperative governance. I would say that all efforts to improve delivery will prove inadequate unless we recognize the need for systemic reforms, including efforts to improve capacity. Having identified intergovernmental relations as a weak area, the Department is now monitoring the general conduct of intergovernmental relations in the country, thereby seeking to ensure that all the efforts of the three spheres is strategic and highly focused on the effective coordination of government's program of action. A series of assessments of the effectiveness of IRG structures related to each sphere of government is in progress. The first study focused on the functionality of district intergovernmental relations forums in compliance with the Act. Draft district IRG functionality guidelines are now being developed. The Department has also developed the Intergovernmental Monitoring Support and Interventions Bill to better govern and regulate the applications of Section 139 and 100 of the Constitution. Greater alignment between the sections is envisaged. If this bill is passed into law, it will give the Minister powers to set down regulations regarding certain aspects of interventions, such as prescribing the role of the administrator, defining parameters for early warning systems, and broadening the interventions environment to include conditions for support measures. These elements will collectively boost the ability of the Department to progressively strengthen the governance and institutional arrangements of the state, and these in turn will form the bedrock from which accelerated service delivery can be planned and executed. The amendment to the Municipal Systems Act 2011 is one of the strategies aimed at redressing issues stemming from the 2009 State of Local Government report, particularly in relation to institutional and administrative challenges that impact on the ability of municipalities to perform their functions and deliver on their service delivery obligations. It is part of government's resolve to professionalize local government administration and thus ensure fair, efficient, effective, and transparent municipal administration. Also in the pipeline are revisions to the municipal regulations. The development of a single set of regulations for all categories of municipal employees would have been our ideal, but it has been decided to prioritize the development of regulations for municipal managers and managers directly accountable to municipal managers. At the same time, the Department is also engaged with the development of regulations for all other municipal employees. The two sets of regulations will address the weaknesses in recruitment, placement, and the general management of the human resource capital of that sphere of government. The Department also continuously monitors the filling of all Section 57 positions in terms of the Municipal Systems Act. This is done to ensure that appointments are compliant with the relevant prescripts and that competent persons are appointed to deal with the socio-economic challenges that confront our municipalities. Chapter 5 of the National Development Plan explains that sustainable communities are built through well-structured development planning processes that help municipalities to optimally manage natural resources and environmental risks in the pursuit of socio-economic goals. Integrated development planning is a collaborative planning process which produces a strategic plan designed to guide municipalities and their entities to systematically address service delivery backlogs, encourage socio-economic development, and preserve and conserve the natural environment, and address spatial disparities of development and deliver on agreed priorities. One of the important elements of the framework is the provision of the establishment of national and provincial IDP support teams consisting of national and provincial sector departments at each level, focusing on support to municipalities. This is done by, amongst others, conducting assessment of the status of all the performance areas, developing objective strategies and programs, and developing projects that respond to identified challenges in the status report. To date, municipalities in the provinces of Limpopo, Northern Cape, Free State, and Gauteng have undergone workshops on the content of the framework. The other provinces are targeted for the remainder of the financial year and beyond. Following the local government elections in 2011, municipalities were supported to establish and induct ward committees. After the ward committee elections, the department rolled out an induction program for newly elected ward committee members. This induction formed part of a broader capacity building program consisting of both accredited and non-accredited skills development learning areas. Another priority is to strengthen the functionality of ward committees and the development and implementation of service improvement plans in municipal wards is one of the key performance areas that are aimed at achieving this. To put it another way, the people for whom the products are designed are being asked to help design the products. This is a refinement to the existing ward level system improvement plans. Over 1,300 ward level service improvement plans are being developed to date and are currently being implemented in ward and in municipalities across all provinces. Early in May of 2013, government established the Municipal Infrastructure Support Agent, MISA, as a dedicated component of COGTA to provide technical support to municipalities. The aim is to enable the accreditation of municipal infrastructure development and to improve operations and maintenance of this infrastructure. One of COGTA's key priorities is to intensify the fight against corruption. The interventions that have been put in place include training Section 79 committees on ethics management. This will ensure that councillors play their oversight role more effectively and will create a culture within municipalities that is intolerant to fraud and corruption. The department has also entered into a partnership with the Directorate of Priority Crime Investigation, the Hawks, and the Special Investigating Unit. This partnership will ensure that allegations of fraud and corruption are investigated and concluded speedily, and that officials found guilty of corrupt practices are charged and convicted. This will include investigations on irregular and unauthorized expenditures, as pointed out in the Auditor General's report. Chairperson, your speakers list said Deputy Minister 20 minutes plus minus, but I'm trying to keep to the minus. Chairperson, maybe in conclusion, just to say that cooperative governance is not the sole concern and responsibility of COGTA. It's the enterprise of all of government and society. Cooperation and coordination in government should be the top priority of all departments and spheres to ensure integrated and effective service delivery to the people. Our department just happens to be the lead champion of this cause. Please join us. I thank you.
Honorable de Villiers, maybe I can give you a few minutes and call the next person.
No, I'm all right, Chairperson.
Are you fine?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Honorable Deputy Chairperson, Minister, members, guests, this debate is long overdue. We as delegates requested some municipalities in the Eden District area to provide us with a written report on certain matters, but up to date, according to my information as leader of the delegation, nothing yet. This is unacceptable, disrespectful, and bad governance in the eyes of the voters and communities of these municipalities represented by them. The request was plain, simple, and easy. On service delivery, no municipality was in breach with their responsibilities. The water crisis due to the severe drought, heavy rainfall, ground and coastal erosion is under control by programs. It includes water purification plants, desalination, boreholes, upgrading of dams, etc. Electricity supply from Eskom is in certain areas like Tembuletu, Kanaland, and other informal settlements a problem that led to no electricity to these communities. Where electricity is available, no free electricity is supplied by Eskom to the indigent and the poor, and this also must be addressed. In Kanaland municipality, the electricity demand and supply from Eskom to the municipality is of huge concern and must be addressed soon. Also, the situation of aging underground pipeline sewerage system and reservoir must be addressed as of yesterday. The George, Mosselbaai, Beto, and Knysna municipalities delivered good services on electricity, water, sewerage, and free services to the indigent and the area of responsibility. The Eden District Municipality has a good program and plan in place to adhere to the expectations and responsibilities to the municipalities in their area of authority, although they can only depend on government grants and equitable share. During our oversight visit in the Eden District Municipality, Oudtshoorn Municipality was in distress. To add to their difficult situation, they've lost the municipal manager due to death. The Bongoletu Clinic delivers very good services to the community, but I urge the provincial and national government to extend the size of this center. This will alleviate a lot of their challenges experienced. The challenges on drug abuse, domestic violence, and other crimes related matters must be addressed. The Department of Safety and Security must supply and put available more police stations, police and staff, and police vehicles to the areas where these challenges are present. Visible policing is always a winner. Although the development of economical opportunities are not directly a municipal obligation, these municipalities do have programs of development in place. My belief is actually that if the municipality provides people with safe and secure areas, good economic and profitable areas of development, then investors will come to your area and start employment-created businesses, and the economy will grow. The George and Mosselbaai municipalities are examples of a growing economical municipality. In the report, there are lots of problems and challenges in these municipalities to be assisted by provincial, national government, Eskom, Salga, and others. In conclusion, I must thank the staff who support us before, during, and after the Provincial Week, all members from the NCOP and the Western Cape Provincial Government, local municipalities, police, and traffic officials who made our oversight visit a success. I also want to say provincial legislatures, national government must put their shoulders and support of the execution to the challenges identified by the NCOP program or oversight. If not, it will make us a laughable institution and our duties a waste of money. If this happens, the NCOP must not shy away to name and shame them and use every method to make them deliver to the people. I thank you, Honourable Deputy Chairperson.
Honourable Mokgobi. Honourable Mokgobi.
Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, Honorable Deputy Minister, Minister Nel, special delegates. In the beginning of the fourth term of our Parliament, we made a commitment to continue in our quest to build an activist Parliament that plays an active role in giving expression to the needs and challenges facing communities. We made this courageous commitment informed of our historic pledge to realize the vision expressed by the people of South Africa when they converged in Cape Town in 1955 to adopt the Freedom Charter, the formidable expression and declaration that says the people shall govern. Honorable Chairperson, this year's Provincial Week took place from 16 to 19 April 2013 under the theme, I quote, moving with utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities, close quote. It was indeed to track progress that provinces and municipalities made in addressing the findings and the recommendation of our provincial week reports. I'm pleased to report that in many instances, provinces and municipalities take the work of the NCOP very serious. We observed in many of the projects that the NCOP visited, there was a considerable attempt by provinces and municipalities to address the challenges that we encountered. When the Limpopo delegation visited Chilizini Hospital in 2010, it was amazed by the condition of the hospital, including the lack of essential medical equipment, shortage of staff, no medical specialists, and the building itself was in worse condition, needing some serious renovations. To address the shortage of the staff, as identified by the NCOP, the province appointed 15 additional staff members, including 1 medical specialist, 5 medical officers, 7 community service doctors, 1 dentist, and 1 pharmacist. What concerned us was that the renovation of the building and the procurement of essential equipment could not be done due to lack of funds. We were informed that the hospital will receive priority in the current financial year. In 2010, we also visited the Jane First Hospital and Mutale Community Health Care. I must say that we were highly disappointed in the poor road infrastructure at Mutale Community Health Center. In fact, the emergency medical service informed us that the bad road infrastructure makes their work unbearable and result in considerable delays in dealing with emergency cases. Unfortunately, the condition had not changed when we visited the hospital this year. In fact, it was worse than in 2010. However, the situation at Jane First Hospital had improved slightly, with many of the issues resolved, including the water issue. There were a number of challenges that we picked up when we visited the various schools that were part of our program of taking Parliament to the people. Although most of the challenges that we highlighted by the NCOP were addressed, we were particularly concerned by the slow pace in which the Department of Education is addressing the provision of Braille workbooks and other essential support service for blind learners, especially at the Wasile School of the Blind. We made it clear that these issues need to be addressed because it amounts to gross discrimination and violation of the constitutional rights of blind learners. The provision of basic service by municipalities that we visited showed some progress. In Skukude district, 61% of the households receive water, 25% has access to sanitation services, 85.9% has access to electricity. The Dehoop Dam was one of the major interventions to address the shortage of water in the district. The initial stage of impounding water in the dam was finalized, and now as we speak, the dam is 95% full. The district also had 7 bulk water supply projects that were underway, including the Khoroblastal Lukai water project, which was to be completed in June 2013. The Khoroblastal moves the East and West project, which involved the upgrading of Khoroblastal water treatment works. The Zyplus Carbonite project, which involved the installation of bulk pipeline, and Flag-Bushelo water treatment plant, which involved the augmentation process to upgrade the capacity of water treatment plant from 4 megaliters a day to 12 megaliters a day. The lack of water in the district is exacerbated by the fact that although the Vallo water supply project is complete, no water reticulation is taking place as yet due to a delay of the Ministry of Water and Environmental Affairs to grant the necessary permission to this municipality. The House will remember that I raised this matter with the Ministry in the debate here. We would also want to request the Deputy Minister to further raise the matter of policy. There must be a permission before the municipality could take water from the Vallo. Therefore, we request that you intervene so that the district is able to access water and give it to the people quickly. This results in erratic water supply that fuels public discontent and illegal water connection. We want to appeal as we did, for intervention. In order to address the challenges relating to access to sanitation, the Sekhukhune District Municipality completed 4,000 VIP toilets at Ram, Manoke, Mashamatane, Bottashoek during 2012. There was further 3,521 VIP toilets that were in the process of being completed at Pokwane, Hamalaga, and Ntohane. The district estimated that by June 2013, a total of 7,521 VIP would be completed. What concerned us more was that the Sekhukhune District Municipality received a disclaimer audit opinion in the 2011-2012 financial year, and the 5 local municipalities under it received qualified audit opinion. Among the challenges that were highlighted were poor financial management systems, allegation of corruptions, mismanagement, poor spending of municipal infrastructure grant, and general poor leadership. In general, the provision of infrastructure in the province was a major challenge. Roads in the province are generally poor, and a number of roads projects have been abandoned by contractors or show clear signs of poor workmanship. People were complaining about lack of houses and of allegation or manipulation or favoritism. Over 2,050 of the RDP houses were built in Ward 1 in Ephraim Mahal local municipalities. And this needed urgent repairs, as some are of a shoddy work. Some of the houses did not have electricity. Honorable Chairperson, the Provincial Week report show in many of the provinces there are attempts to move with utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities. What is even more important for us as the SOP is to remain persistent in our work to visit every community so that our work is truly driven and informed by the lived experiences of our people. As we move to undertake a 20th assessment of the progress that our government has made in changing the lives of our people, we must ensure that we create a public outreach profile of all the communities that our parliament visited in the last 10 years. We need to demonstrate to all the prophets of doom that the ANC remains committed to the ideals of our struggle for democracy and freedom. We need to show that our people, we shall never abandon them. The struggle for a better life continues. If by word and deed we take our places among the ordinary people who position themselves among a nation that is at work to build a better life for all within a caring society, then we should expect that the poor, historically marginalized, deprived, and discriminated masses of our people will set a garland of grace on our heads and present each one of us with a crown of splendor for championing their
Honorable
plight,
Kofi, can you round off, please?
the tireless and historic sacrifices made by Phobias Amandla.
Thank you. I now call upon the Honorable Makubela.
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Deputy Minister, and the House, thank you very much. But the topic which I'm going to discuss is so, I don't know how to read it. Moving with utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in the community. You know, but when you check the speed which he said, the speed is not the ideal speed. That's why you see a lot of protests, because there's a lot of accidents. Yes. There is no road leveled nicely in order to have this vehicle to move nicely. The program of a provincial week is a very nice vehicle. But you know, if people at the provinces can buy in what we are trying to do, we can do a wonderful job. But nothing is being done. Check the man. I'm in the committees of finance and appropriation. Just look at the spending of the money. Hopeless. I'm standing here very much ashamed to debate on this issue. Really. All right. When you check on the last provincial week, the proper one, all right, we visited Mecklenburg. The challenges and concern and progress were made. 4 flats, roomed flats, two flats were built. It was something. We went to see why in there. The road is there, but for the past how many years, it was not there. It was just a fake. Busile School, how can you be so heartless to lack books for this and braille print at this school? It's a challenge. We cannot say moving with the utmost speed to the advancement of this. Those are nice words. If we go to the provinces during the briefing, you get a rosy report. Me, as Makubela, just say, oh, God, my friend, man, what are you hearing? Chairperson, thank you very much. I'm not going to talk too much. Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Makubela. And I call upon the Honorable V. Mbata, Gauteng Deputy Chair of Chairs. Honorable V. Mbata. Just hold on, the Honorable Member. Honorable Gunda. Honorable Gunda, take your seat, please. Thank you. Honorable Gunda, take your seat, please. Honorable Gunda, I asked you to take your seat the last time. Thank you. Continue, please, Honorable Mbata.
Hopefully my church does not demean the decorum of the institution. As I thought it is consistent with generations that came before us to establish this particular honorable democracy that we are having. But thank you very much, Chairperson, Deputy Minister, and all protocol observed. Honorable Chairperson, the Provincial Week held from the 15th to the 19th of April 2013 in Gauteng under the theme, Moving with Utmost Speed to Ensure Socio-Economic Advancement in Our Communities, was seen as one of the key mechanisms established and implemented by the National Council of Provinces to reaffirm on its mandate of representing the provincial interests in the national sphere of government. Correct in our understanding of the constitutional provision of the Republic of South Africa, which applies the NCOP to ensure provincial interests are taken into account in national sphere of government, efforts are also made with provinces to appreciate challenges that municipalities are also experiencing in the context of service delivery. The said Provincial Week was a strategic tool to further engage with other state organs in building an activist parliament and public service that plays an active role in giving practical expression to the needs and challenges facing communities. During this Provincial Week, permanent delegates of the Gauteng had an opportunity to interact with the provincial leadership, Salga municipalities, business, and the community in general. It also undertook oversight visits to assess the state of service delivery and had an opportunity to interact with communities in public meetings. Indeed, Honorable Chairperson, the Provincial Week has grown in strides to be one of the best platforms used by the NCOP to oversee the implementation of programs and collect more information on progress made by other spheres of government to ensure a better life for all. It also affords the NCOP an opportunity to undertake joint oversight visits and work together in ensuring the continuous monitoring of progress in delivery of services to communities. As per the focus of the program, the following are the issues that the NCOP communicated to various provinces: provision of road infrastructure, provision of healthcare and ambulances, electrification program, fight against corruption and nepotism, crime strategy and fight against domestic violence and rape, developing credible housing list and beneficiary allocation process, LET projects and job creation, specialized schools for learners with learning difficulties or disabilities, provision of science and reading facilities at schools, security in schools, learner transport plan processing of learners transport permits, provision of recreational facilities, disaster management and response plans, supply of water and state of purification plants and dams, accessibility of services to rural communities and people with disabilities, especially those in wheelchairs and the visually impaired, ensuring higher levels of courtesy in services provided to communities and indigent support programs. In relation to Gauteng province, having had assessed the program areas, the focus areas, the following are the issues that the week-long program engaged with: provision of road infrastructure, provision of healthcare and ambulances, electrification program, developing credible housing list and beneficiary allocation process, progress report on Operation Clean Audit 2014, the state of municipalities in the province in relation to service delivery, governance of financial management, LET projects, and job creation. In the overall analysis, the NCOP also had an opportunity to report on the previous Provincial Week on the issues that were raised during that time. This being the acid mine drainage, urbanization, human settlement, immigration that puts pressure on the focus of provinces to improve, to provide quality schooling and health for all, to mention but a few. In relation to above, we can report that the Gauteng has the functioning single planning authority, which spoke at length about the program of action relating to the old outcomes as adopted by the provincial government. That is quality basic education, long and healthy life for all people are feel free, decent employment through inclusive growth, sustainable rural communities contributing to food security, sustainable human settlement and improved quality of household life, responsive, accountable and effective and efficient local government, effective and efficient and developmental-oriented public service. For the province to assess progress made with regard to the above, meetings were held with the executive led by the Premier, the Gauteng Planning Commission, the municipalities, particularly the finance department, that gave an overall picture with regard to the state of readiness with regard to achieving the Operation Clean Audit 2014. Meeting were also held with the human settlement with regard to the sustainable human settlement and improved quality of household life and economic development with regard to decent employment through inclusive growth. We had successful engagement with municipalities where the state of delivery and clean audit were presented. The delegation undertook site visits to Soweto to observe progress made with regard to integrated development relating specifically to housing development, economic infrastructure, and development of service delivery infrastructure. There are pockets of excellence demonstrating integrated development with regard to housing, roads, local economic development, and the state-of-art Jabulani Theatre that has been built right in the middle of Soweto. Meeting with the Southern Ekurhuleni Chamber of Commerce, the delegation traveled to Wadeville Industrial Area where they met with the Southern Ekurhuleni Chamber of Commerce. In addition to above, audience was also sought with the Portfolio Committee and Standing Committee of Gauteng Provincial Legislature that are performing oversight initiatives to deliver quality services to communities and respond to challenges that were raised by members of parliament, members of the provincial legislature, the South African Local Government Association on communities during the previous provincial visits, taking parliament to the people and oversight visits by select committees. The highly esteemed program afforded NCOP delegates, the provincial legislature and ALGA an opportunity to revisit areas which were previously revisited to assess the state of service delivery and progress that has been made to ensure the following. Continued massive immigration which increases the demand for public services, a challenge of global economic environment and its impact on growth, employment, trade and investment, a decline in public revenue growth, the cost of land and rapid urbanization, high expectation of citizens and stakeholders, acid mine drainage and water quality. Our permanent delegates gave the province a report relating to the past provincial week, and following up on the pronouncement that different ministries are doing, we can be comforted that some work has been done relating to the above issues. The provincial government must ensure that it sustains the engagement with Louvren community and Wadeville Business Chamber and Springs Chamber of Commerce to engage on efforts and plans that each has in stimulating settled economic development and innovative ways of accommodation of ensuring settlement of employees to mitigate the challenge of decaying rail infrastructure and safety. It was the belief and commitment of the Chamber of Business in Wadeville that much can be done to resuscitate the manufacturing sector in Wadeville. The Gauteng Provincial Government is committed to Operation Clean Audit. Hence, the OPCA Coordinating Committee, composed of the Premier's Office, Local Government and Housing, Provincial Treasury, SALGA, and Interministerial Forum, the Auditor General and municipalities has been constituted. There's a need to follow up on the mine in Ekurhuleni that was not a subject of engagement in the earlier on provincial visit, as it was a subject of liquidation, and as a result, the liquidation processes made it very difficult for the said engagement or excursion to be undertaken in that particular area. The meeting also resolved that on the need of the NCOP select committees to interact with the provincial and portfolio committees to share best practices of oversight and appreciate the challenges that are encountered in the exercise of oversight. From the perspective of the province, from the provincial week engagement, we can indicate that our colleagues nationally are doing their bit and they would need to be supported by the executive and the legislature to realize more going forward. As you people will be descending to Gauteng from the 21st of October up and 28th of October up until to the 1st of November, you'll actually make your own observation as to how responsive are we in response to the National Development Plan and the proper integrated planning, seeing to it that there is much more that still needs to be done. Thank you, Kalebo.
Thank you, Honorable Mbata. I now call upon the Honorable N.W. Magadla.
Thank you, Chairperson. Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Deputy Minister of COGTA, honorable members of the House, ladies and gentlemen,
We are assembled here in this House today to consider and reflect our Provincial Week program under the theme, Moving with Utmost Speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities. We undertake this exercise not only as a legislative obligation to compliance, but also as a deliberate move to unpack and assess our performance and the state of affairs in our provinces through the lenses of our Provincial Week report. This Provincial Week program is one of the programs through which the NCOP collaborates with provincial legislatures in conducting the business of oversight. Critical in this regard is to ensure the maximization of coordination and alignment of plans for the provision of services to our people. I'm happy to report that the Provincial Week program, having crisscrossed and touched all provinces, has afforded space for all spheres of government to have an opportunity to listen to community voices. It also helped in providing a platform for government to communicate its plans and report on progress made, including challenges that are hindrances in the provision of services. Chairperson, may I also submit that we view such an exercise as fundamentally important, as it allows all spheres of government to receive their mandate directly from the communities. It is for these reasons that we must continue to deepen people's participation in the processes of change and development, so we can indeed claim that our system of parliamentary work represents activism, and this is what makes the work of the NCOP and its members radically different from that of other houses. The NCOP, as a component of our activist parliament, has a critical role to play in oversight activities that seek to ensure good equality services provided to communities. Though sometimes the reports we get from other spheres are not as credible as we expect. With such a program, Chairperson, we are moving at a speedy but steady pace in ensuring coordination in support of intergovernmental relations. As evidenced in our report, we continue to enjoy strong and healthy relations, not only with our provincial legislatures and councils, but also in strengthening our relationship directly with our people. If you can listen to the voices of the people, honorable members, they say it is now that we understand the importance and the existence of the National Council of Provinces. However, in view of the report in front of us, I must say that we are particularly concerned about the uneven and imbalanced level and pace of implementation of commitments stakeholders have made as part of our resolutions. In this regard, I would like the Office of the Chief Whip to have a closer look at this and find mechanisms of doing away with this practice and enforce implementation so that commitments that we make individually or collectively are translated into action and taken seriously. The task of empowering our communities should not only be reserved for this House, but should be the preoccupation of all the legislative arms as representatives of the people. We have taken bold yet practical steps in mapping out a way forward and to create the necessary building blocks for a lasting legacy and progressive imprints for future generations. In closing, Chairperson, I want to make bold that our people can confidently count on the support of this House. And though such oversight instruments as the Provincial Week will ourselves strive to maintain regular contact with our communities. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Magadla. Now call upon the Honorable J.J. Kunda.
No, Chair, this time was wrong. Please put it back to 3 minutes.
Can you set?
Okay, thank you. Honorable Deputy Chair and Honorable Deputy Minister, I just want to stay on the theme. Moving with utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities. All of us in this house, I've learned this one thing. You must be honest. And if you are honest, we will tell the truth from here. That many of these things are not happening in our provinces. Number one, how can we sit here as members and say and give this report a go-ahead knowing, I'm talking about local government, over 500 million rand in this past 5 years has been wasted down the drain and not a single person is sent to prison. And yet, we want to give this report an approval. We must be serious about giving our people a better life. I'm saying we don't need to have 2 million houses. We need to have 1 million houses, quality houses, so that people's life must be better. We know where we're coming from. We're coming from a background where our people had no security, where people have no access to this, but still, we're using people who are not owners of our people, who are not giving our people the right service. Honorable Deputy Minister, it's such a sorry story that you are coming in so late in a department on provincial levels, not all provinces, but on many provinces, provincial levels, it is the COCTA is in a chaos. They are not, go to the Northern Cape, how the people protest, go wherever you want to go throughout the country, there are protests. Why? Service, quality service delivery. Let me go to the Northern Cape. Whenever we have a provincial week, it's only the chief whip of the legislature that accompanies the NCOP members. When there's a debriefing, the last debriefing, there was not even a single MEC. But still the chairperson talks to those people. The problem that we are having here is not that this house are not doing his work. Is that the provinces that this house are supposed to work with us are not doing their duty. And that's the problem that we are serving here. That's why we're having these problems in provinces. They are not honest. And that's why there are so many ill discipline in provinces. When are we going to hear an MM is been locked up for corruption? When are we going to see a mayor has been locked up for negligence? When are we going to see that? This report, Chair.
Order. Honorable Gunda. Order. Honorable Zimande.
Chair, I would like to answer Mr. Kunda that we have examples in Free State of people that are arrested in the north of West. Northwest.
Honorable Zimande, that's not a point of order. You should raise a point of order. No, you should raise a point of order.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Chair. All I'm saying.
Honorable Gunda, order. Honorable Chane.
Yeah, I would like to check if a member will take a question.
No, I won't take my time is up, and I've got 31 seconds left. My time is up. I can't take a question now.
Okay.
Thank you. Honorable Chair.
Order, Honorable Gunda. Honorable Matila.
No.
Order, members.
Chair, through COCTA, this committee here, an MM in the Free State has been locked up. He must not mislead. I'm saying it's out of order, it's misleading.
Matila, that's not a point. Honorable Gunda, continue.
Thank you. Let me just say this one thing, Chair, and I mean it. The effectiveness and the seriousness of the provincial legislatures needs urgent attention. And I would be glad if the Deputy Minister of COCTA that are here can just give attention that provincial legislatures need to give...
Honorable Gunda, Honorable Mashile.
No, Chair, you see, the point of order that we are raising is because it's misleading the public that there is nothing that's happening with wrongdoing. And when there is something that happens on a daily basis, MMs are being removed. So you can't mislead the public in front of us.
Honorable Gunda, you are misleading the House. You should withdraw.
No, Chair, I'm not misleading the House.
No, you should withdraw. You are misleading the House. There has been points that people have been arrested and all that. So Are you willing to withdraw?
All right, Chair, I will withdraw. Thank you,
You
Chair.
withdraw.
Chair.
Okay. Order, Honorable Gunda. Honorable Fellingen.
Please give me the rule number of that point of order.
That's a point of order. The member's got the right to stand up and ask the member to withdraw because he's misleading the House. And you, Honorable Mohobi. Order, members.
Honorable Chair, his withdrawal is not audible.
Your withdrawal is not audible, the member says.
No, Chair, there is no proof what is audible, what is not audible. There is no proof of that. Chair, I've already said something. Chair, let me just conclude. I believe that we as members of COCTA and in this
Order,
House...
Honorable Gunda. Honorable Nisi. Just hold on, they're going to get your mic.
Is Honorable Gunda's time not up?
Is Honorable Gunda?
His time is up now.
Honorable Gunda, you've still got 5-6 seconds.
In conclusion, let me just say this, Chair. On a very serious note, service delivery needs urgent attention, and economic development, socio-economic development for our people in the rural areas, in the
Honorable Gunda,
poor
your
areas,
time has
needs
expired.
urgent attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
And I call upon the Honorable Bivi Ngube.
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Deputy Minister, members of the National Council of Provinces. The Provincial Week has grown to be one of the key mechanisms established by the National Council of Provinces to achieve its mandate of representing the country's provinces in the national sphere. It affords permanent delegates to the NCOP an opportunity to interact with their respective provinces and report on their activities in the NCOP with the aim of obtaining new mandates on issues to be placed on the national agenda. And for this purpose, to meet with the leaders of the various provincial legislatures, including premiers, members of the executive, speakers, chief whips, and chairpersons of committees, and other stakeholders such as local government leaders and SALGA. During the Provincial Week, the NCOP, jointly with provincial legislatures and municipalities, undertake oversight visits to interact with government departments, provincial departments, municipalities, and communities to assess and monitor progress in the delivery of services. In order to give voice to our people, the various provincial delegations will convene public hearings and meetings in order to interact with communities to obtain first-hand information on the delivery of services and on local and provincial issues that should be placed on the national agenda. Honorable Chairperson, the Provincial Week that was conducted on the week of the 16th to the 19th of April 2013 under the theme Moving with Utmost Speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities was intended to follow up on previous areas and projects that were visited through the Provincial Week or our program of taking Parliament to the people. Honorable Chairperson, please allow me to tell our story. Honorable Makubela, can you please listen? Our assessment of the reports of the various delegations, it clearly shows that there has been a considerable attempt to implement the recommendations made by the NCOP. The Eastern Cape delegation visited several projects that were first visited by the NCOP in 2008. During their visit to Lady Frey, among the projects that were visited was the Fremantle High School. I must emphasize that many of us who visited this school were completely disappointed about its condition. In fact, in our report of taking Parliament to the people, we stated categorically that the school was not conducive to teaching and learning. The hostels were completely dysfunctional and broken with poor metric results, no principal, no fencing, no sanitation facilities, and with lots of broken windows. The school had no library, computer lab, or science laboratory. There was no hostel matron, and as a result, the educators were forced to perform the duty of managing hostel. Honorable Gunda and Honorable Makube, it is not okay and it is unparliamentary to stand here and rubbish everything that has been done in the provinces. You are misleading your own provinces. We have missed the chance of talking for the issues that your constituencies are telling you to raise them here in the national sphere. When the delegation visited the school this year, it found that the teaching and learning at Fremantle has been strengthened and, by the appointment of both an acting principal and a deputy principal. The school results have improved. The school had access to internet and the state-owned entity.
Honorable Mube, order. Honorable Gunda.
As we've listened to Honorable Mube, we did not rubbish everything, Chair. That was wrong. She's also misleading the House. Is she saying that all the corruption that has happened is right?
Honorable Gunda. Honorable Gunda, you are out of order. When you are being spoken to, you must please learn to tone down and keep quiet and listen. Now please take your seat and let the honorable member finish the speech. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Gunda, tell no lies, claim no easy victories. USASA donated 21 computers to the school, while Vodacom has donated a laptop. These facilities and the availability of a 3G card also strengthened the school's communication with outside world. Great progress was made with the renovations to the school hostels, including improvement of the ablution facilities and sewage, as well as the water supply.
Honorable Gunda, please focus on the debate. Don't have your own debate that side. And if you don't want to comply, Honorable Gunda, you will leave us with no choice. Thank you. Continue, Honorable Ngube.
The lack of classrooms and poor learning facilities in schools such as the Mount Arthur.
Order. Honorable Sinclair.
Chairperson, because the Honorable Gunda is the only member of the ID, he consulted me on a very important...
Take your seat, please. Take your seat. No, take your... Honorable Sinclair, take your seat. Honorable Sinclair, if you don't want to take your seat, then do us the honorable thing and walk out the door. So take your seat, please. Now take your seat. Oh, Honorable Sinclair, can I ask you to leave the chamber? Can I ask you to leave the chamber? Sergeant of Arms, can you escort Honorable Sinclair out of the chamber, please?
Lift him up. The lack of classrooms and poor learning facilities in schools, such as the Mount Arthur Girls High School, were addressed. There were no additional teachers. Major renovations were done to address the challenges of infrastructure, water sanitation, and sewage that were raised by the NSOP. The situation in many of the hospitals were visited by various delegations in all 9 provinces had improved. All these improvements were proudly and successfully delivered by the ANC. Despite the high migration, population growth, and urbanization in provinces such as Gauteng, there is a general concerted effort to move with utmost speed to ensure socio-economic advancement in our communities. In the Gauteng province in particular, there was overall, Honorable Chairperson, that is stepping me.
Honorable members, Groenewald and Becker, please, if you want to have your own meeting or caucus, do it somewhere else, but not in the chamber. Let the member continue a speech in peace, please. Thank you.
In the Gauteng province in particular, there was an overall strong performance in improving the quality of public schooling, including learners in disadvantaged areas. The Gauteng province has extended no-fee schools to quintile 4 and 5 schools, extended school nutrition to all no-fee schools, Honorable Makobe, extended scholar transport and provision of learner support material. Provinces such as Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Western Cape, and Northern Cape have initiated several interventions to improve school safety and learner performance. Overall, the quality of teaching and learning in many of the provinces have improved. There are clear indications of interventions in provinces such as Gauteng, Western Cape, and KwaZulu-Natal to sustaining metric performance and interventions to improve learner performance and address weaknesses in learning areas such as maths and science. Honorable Chairperson, what is more worrying is that the overall performance of municipalities is stagnating and many facing qualifies and adverse audit outcomes. Generally, there seem to be poor compliance with various increasing number of legislative requirements and implementing accounting standards to guard against enhancement of corruption and maladministration. In some provinces, municipalities show contempt of their own internal policies and supply chain management mechanism. They have weaker administrative control system and spend considerable amounts of money on consultants. Although some municipalities complained about the excessive amounts that are owed to them by provinces and governments, we're happy to see that provinces such as Gauteng established innovating mechanisms to deal with intergovernmental debt by establishing debt management committees between the provincial departments and the municipalities. Again, one hopes that other provinces will do the same so that municipalities are not put under undue strain due to poor payment by provinces and government's departments. In conclusion, Honorable Chairperson, it is clear that the provincial week and our program of taking parliament to the people.
Honorable Ngube. Honorable Faber.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. I would just like to know if the Honourable Nubi would take a question.
Honorable Ngube, are you prepared to take a question?
I'm not going to do that. I'm only left with 1 minute, 30 seconds.
No, Honourable
In
Faber.
conclusion, Honourable Chairperson, it is clear that the provincial week in our program of taking parliament to the people is making a meaningful contribution in monitoring the delivery of services to our people. The oversight work of the NCOP remains instrumental in safeguarding the freedoms and the system of government guaranteed and created by our Constitution. As the ANC, we remain committed and determined to ensure that the machinery of state is geared towards serving the people in keeping with our commitment to build a better life for our people. When we return in the next 5th term next year, we shall build on these successful innovative programs to ensure that we monitor progress in delivering quality services to our people and achieving our ultimate goal of pushing the frontiers of poverty. And all these gains are broadly delivered by the ANC, and these gains we are prepared to defend, and victory is certain. Amanda.
Thank you, Honorable Ngube. And I'll call upon the Honorable Ainel, Deputy Minister of Order, members.
Chairperson, I hope that what I'm going to say won't require the Sergeant at Arms. No, Chairperson, again, just to reiterate the thanks to the NCOP for the very valuable work that it continues to do. I think as a department, COGTA has a natural partnership with an institution like the NCOP, because by your very nature, your work focuses on intergovernmental relations and ensuring cooperative governance. And I think the work that you do around taking Parliament to the people, the provincial week, I think bears very eloquent testimony to that. So the report that has emerged from that is certainly a very useful one and one that assists our work in COGTA. Listening to the Honourable Gunda made me think of a debate that we had a bit earlier in the year in the NA on Freedom Day. In that debate, I thought back to 1994, and I looked at the ANC's election manifesto. In that manifesto, it starts off by saying, on 27 April, for the first time in our history, all of us will stand tall and proud as equal citizens in our common home. South Africa's first democratic elections are about our common yearning for freedom, peace, and a better life for all. They're about a past of oppression and despair and a future of hope and democracy. There are those who would like us to believe that the past doesn't exist, that the decades of apartheid rule have suddenly disappeared, but the economic and social devastation of apartheid remains. Our country is in a mess. Close quote. Those were the opening words of the ANC's 1994 National Election Manifesto. So in that manifesto, it said that under the heading Houses and Services for All, we said that a roof over one's head and reasonable living conditions were not a privilege, but a basic right for every human being. And we said that within 5 years, the new government would build 1 million houses. So the question is, was that done? It was more than done, because 8 years later, in 2002, already 1.4 million houses had been built. By last year, 2012, 3.38 million houses had been built. In that manifesto, it said that we would provide running water and flush toilets to over 1 million families. So we asked whether that was done. In fact, again, more than that was done, because in 1994, 11 million households had access to water. By last year, 13.3 million had access. In 2003, we said, Honourable Member, that we would create 1 million jobs in 5 years. In the period since 1994, 3 million jobs have been created. The fact that we are in the middle of an international economic crisis where many, many developed countries have unemployment rates that match or even surpass our own, I think doesn't detract from the fact that many, many jobs have been created. It doesn't mean that many, many more jobs have to be created, and that does occupy a considerable amount of government's time. We said that we would electrify 2.5 million rural and urban homes. By last year, 76% of households were electrified. And I think one can carry on. The fact remains that an impressive amount of work has been done since 1994. We have moved with the utmost speed already in the past 20 years to promote socioeconomic development. But in saying that, we also say that given the fact that, as this manifesto said in 1994, the socioeconomic legacy of apartheid is so enormous that even the tremendous amount of work that has been done in the past 20 years doesn't address all of the needs of our people. And therefore, we can't agree with the Honourable Gunda when he says, no, we mustn't build 2 million houses, we must only build 1 million houses. Who is going to tell those other 1 million people, that they are not the ones for whom houses must be built. I think it's a very problematic approach. We recognize that a lot has been done. We recognize that there's even more that needs to be done. And we recognize that we are collectively going to have to put a lot of effort into supporting, building, and strengthening all spheres of government, but particularly the local sphere, in order to accelerate that change and that transformation even further. And as I said, we look forward to an ongoing partnership with the National Council of Provinces to do that. We thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Order, members, that concludes the debate. I shall now put the question. The question is that the report be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 71, I shall first allow provinces the opportunity to make their declaration of vote if they so wish. Are there any province? None. We shall now proceed to the voting on the question. I shall do this in alphabetical order per province. Heads of delegation will vote by pressing in favour, against, or abstain buttons. I now call upon the provinces. Eastern Cape?
In favour.
Free State? Gauteng?
Voted.
KwaZulu-Natal? Limpopo?
Agreed.
Mpumalanga?
Isona.
Northern Cape?
Voted.
Northwest? 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 Use your mic, please, Honourable Chan.
Voted, Chair.
Thank you. Western Cape?
Voted, Chairperson.
Voting is now closed. All 9 provinces have voted in favour. I therefore declare the report agreed to in terms of Section 65 of the Constitution. Thank you very much. Honourable Deputy Minister, on behalf of the Deputy Chairperson of the Council, Honourable Mamela, and the Council, I want to thank you for your time spent in the NCOP this afternoon and taking time off your busy schedule to come lead us into this debate and end it. Thank you very much, and go forward in the work that you are doing. Thank you very much. Honourable members, just information from our Honourable Deputy Chair, Honourable Mamela, is that the Premier in KwaZulu-Natal is Honourable Senzo Mtunu. The Speaker is Honourable Lydia Johnson. The Chair of Chairs is Honourable Sipho Kabasha. That's the changes that happened in KwaZulu-Natal. Honourable members, that concludes the business of the day. Honourable members, you are requested to remain standing until the procession has left the House. The House is adjourned. Thank you.